Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Marie here and I've got a process video for you today for Peartree Cutfiles. And for this one I'm using the Picture Perfect Moments cut file from the May 2022 Pearscription files. Pearscriptions are 5 exclusive files that you can get on as a subscription service from Peartree Cutfiles, and this is one of them this month. So I've decided to use this particular file as a frame. So I'll pop my photograph of me and my son from a recent visit to the beach there, just in the very centre. And then I'm going to use that lovely stripy paper to do the next ring around. I'm using the Simple Stories Safe Travels collection, which is their travel collection, I think it was from last year, or maybe even the year before. I've had it for a little while. I've got quite a lot of it in my stash. I really want to sort of get using some of my hidden away collection so that I can justify getting more, as you do. So I'm just popping some more of that paper, out of that spotty paper. That's going to go on those 2 middle sections there. I'm literally putting a very thin line of glue around the edge of the cut file and then sticking it on and then trimming around it, like fussy cutting around it basically. I always try and put just the smallest amount of glue possible on so that you don't end up with too much glue and then it all kind of puthers out with the sides and makes a mess. I've decided with this cut file that I want to create an opening page, so pretty similar to the one you may have seen in our Facebook group that Inessa, one of our DT, did a few weeks ago. And it kind of, she had the cut file on the outside and it opened up to reveal some hidden elements and some extra photographs and bits and pieces. And that's exactly what I want to do here. So thank you to Inessa for the inspiration. I have used my Cricut to cut that backing piece of paper there, that green, that sort of turquoisey spotty paper. All I did was I took the file and I removed all of the internal contour lines. I then put just a few of them back. So the space at the top of the N, the space between the E, the middle of the O, the little V's at the top of the M's there, just so that the letters were cut out, but then the rest was all just one big piece. Makes backing, if you have your own electronic cutting machine, it makes backing cut files really, really simple. So now I'm just going to make the flap part. I love this geotag paper and I think it goes really well with the turquoisey paper that I've chosen there, and I'm now going to just fasten it on with some really sticky red line tape. So I've used my scoring mat just to score a line along the edge. I've lined it up and then I pull the rest of the tape cover off. So I never take the full tape cover off all at once. I only ever take sections off just to make sure that when you're sticking big pieces on like that, just to make sure you can line it up correctly. I'm not entirely sure that I've stuck that cut file on straight, but never mind. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting another cutout that I did on my machine on the back of it, because as you can see there, you've kind of got the bits of suitcases on the back of that green paper, that turquoise paper, and I just didn't like it, didn't look right, and I'd done it sideways, so all the suitcases were sideways as well, and I much prefer the way it looks that way round. So all I did within my software was I flipped it over before I cut it so that I got it backwards, because obviously it was going on the back and I wanted to see the back, so it needed to be backwards. So I just did that within my software. I did a horizontal flip and then just cut it out again. What you're seeing me do now is cut some more of the pattern papers. I love that mustardy yellow colour, and I like the other patterns as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 pockets within that, so hiding underneath the flap that I've created. So I've cut a diagonal on the top of each one, and again I'm just going to stick them down with red line tape around the bottom 3 edges, as you can see there. So I've stuck that bottom one on first, then I'm going to stick the next and then the next, so it goes right down to the bottom, just marking it off with a pencil, trimming it on my trimmer, and again lots of red line tape just to make sure, because these are pockets and things are going to go in and out of them, I just want to make sure that they're super secure. So I've just used similar colours to the back of the other page there, so it all kind of matches together, but I love the idea that on sort of one side is the blues and the greens, and then on the inside is those yellows and mustards, and I think that works really well. I decided to cut a whole load more pictures out from that particular day. Some of these photographs I've actually scrapped separately and planned to scrap them separately and give them a whole page, but I liked the idea of having this one collection, if you like, of all the pictures, all the best pictures from that day all together within this one layout. So I'm just going to now play around with a few of the bits of ephemera. I know I want to embellish quite a bit. I do like to add quite a lot of embellishment, so I know I want to add quite a bit to this, but I'm just not quite sure at this point how I'm going to do it. So I've started here by cutting up one of the tag sheets, and my idea is to put each of the pictures onto a separate tag. This idea I don't run with this idea entirely, and I don't make you watch me cut out all of these tags. There they are. But I knew I wanted to have some of the tags and to bring in some other colours, so which is why I went for that green. There's some green in a few of the photographs, so it's kind of like bringing that green in as well. Playing around with the idea of having some blue, decide not to in the end and keep this greeny yellowy colours on this side instead. And rather than having all the photographs on tags, I decided to have little clusters of photographs on the back of that camera image, the back of the camera cut file, sorry, on that side. So just kind of playing around with lots of things here. This layout did actually take me quite a considerable amount of time, because I do swap and change my mind quite a lot, and I've got quite a bit of ephemera. I've got quite a few stickers and things left as well, so I've got a lot to play around with, and I wanted to try and really stash but and use sort of as much as I could. I did fussy cut that road trip badge there. It didn't end up making it onto the final layout. It just didn't feel right. I couldn't get it to work. I think it's the amount of red on there, because there's not that much red anywhere else, so it ends up coming back off. And then I play around with where I want these different words and where I want these different clusters. So far I've got that little rucksack cluster, and then I decide to have another rucksack up at the top corner there as well. And then start sticking in some of the tags, finding some of the phrases. And this is my favourite part of making a layout, is this kind of embellishing stage where you just get to go through all the little bits and pieces and find everything that works for you. And some of the phrases, they don't all work perfectly, but most of them, so the let's get away and the roam and the weekend vibes, they all fit. It was the weekend, we got away, we did only go for the day, it was just a day trip, but it worked, and we were exploring, so the walking boots and the globe and rucksacks and things, they all worked really well with the layouts. And I wanted to make sure that I included like all the highlights from the day. So we were actually fossil hunting, so I managed to get down onto the beach with them, and Stephen took me a chair, so I had a nice sit down while they went off and did lots and lots of fossil hunting and had a whale of a time. So I just wanted to kind of capture all of that within the same page. I love that word journey. It's the right sort of colour. I put it there, I and and then I decide it's too much of the same colour, so that does actually come back off again. So just using my crocodile there to punch holes in the tags that I've chosen to use. And like I say, I don't end up using all of the tags. And what I find I do actually do is stick photographs to both sides of them. One of the reasons for that was to try and make sure that the layout didn't end up so bulky that it wouldn't go in a page protector, because even though there is a great deal of hiddenness on this layout, I don't mind it going in a page protector and being protected. I know those hidden things are there, and if I want to look at it, I can just pop it out of the page protector and have a really good look at everything on those pages. So I've decided I want to pop a photograph on the front of that pocket as well as having photographs in the pockets themselves. I want a photograph on it, so I've gone with that blue stripy paper. I always keep the scraps of everything because they're always useful for backing smaller photographs, and I do like to use smaller photographs. I love it when I've got a Canon selfie and I like to print 2 on a page and 4 on a page. They're my 2 favourite sizes. So just going to use some of that string there is it baker's twine, I think it's called, on some of my tags, and I've put them all up at there at the top. I don't make you watch me do all of that. Now playing around with a few more embellishments. I have decided, as you can see, to put a strip of that geotag paper down the left hand side of the main page. It makes the front page look a whole lot better, and it kind of connects then the front and the back pages the outside and the inside together much better. This is just some journaling that I'm doing. I've chosen a couple of little tags from the cut apart sheets and just including some of the highlights from the day, And then I decided to do some doodling, and I liked that black pen around the outside. And then I decided to do even more journaling on the back of this tag as well. So lots and lots of journaling I'm doing today. I decided to ditch that tag in the end that I've just written because I made a huge spelling, well, I didn't make a huge spelling mistake, I made one spelling mistake, and then I tried to cover it up and it ended up looking like a big blob, and I didn't like the way it looked, so that did not make it into the final layout. But the rest of the tags do, and I like the random nature of how they're sort of tucked in and everything as well. So fussy cutting a little camera now. I'm thinking I want that camera on there, but I'm not quite sure where it's going to go. So I start playing around now with the different foam stickers and the different bits of ephemera and various bits and pieces. I do go round and round in circles, adding extra things in, taking them off. And I don't want to end up with so much on there that it's cluttered, but I want some definite little clusters. I like that triangle. I don't know if you've ever heard of the triangle, like a visual triangle, having 3 lots of clusters on a page that then bring your eye to the middle of that triangle that kind of focus your eye on the photograph. So I'm going to have a little cluster at the top left, a little cluster at the bottom left, and then one at the right hand side as well, and then that's that sort of lovely triangle there. So just clustering lots of little bits of embellishments together, swapping and changing my mind as to what I want on the page and what I don't want on the page. Very indecisive. But eventually I do make my mind up, and I do find the arrangement of the cluster that I'm happy with. I do like the one up at the top the top left. I think the map and the let's go tie in the greens together. So yeah, just playing around with the different placements. You can see there as well, I've tucked 2 tags in to that opening in the cut file that I left. My husband took lots of photographs on the day as well, and I haven't managed to get them off his camera yet, so I need to. So I've kind of kept that little area there ready for some extra photographs that hopefully I'm going to get from him. Just decided to use these green stickers here again to tie all the colours together from the outside to the inside. And we did actually go to a place called Sands End in Whitby, so I wrote Sands End in those green letters and then Whitby in small ones. And then I decided to put fossil hunting at the top of it as well, just to really make that clear, give another sort of focal title within the inside, because the main title is obviously on the outside. More of that baker's twine just on those 2 tags. And then I decided to write family in here, and I try it in the red letters, but in the end I don't like it, so they end up coming back off. And instead I pop the green letters. It just kind of all kind of marries together a little bit better. I think that sticker underneath that I've just stuck on says fun this way, which was perfect. And here it is. Here's the finished layout. It's normal speed, so you can have a proper look at it. And then it just opens up to show all the detail on the inside. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. I hope you like it. I hope it's given you a little bit of inspiration. I know some people don't necessarily like layouts with hidden elements because they want to be able to see everything they've made, but I like having those little hidden things that you know there that maybe nobody else knows there that's hiding away. And here comes some close-ups of the layout as well for you to have a really nice look at them. If you're interested in a Peartree Pearscription, please do head over to our website, www.peartreecutfiles.co.uk/Pearscription. You can find out all about our monthly subscription. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Like I say, I hope this layout has inspired you, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.